Hey guys, what's going on? Can you believe it? We're back. Welcome back to another episode of Slept On. Slept On is the series where we talk about songs from artists that you might have missed. Um, so before we start this episode, I have to tell you something really, really cool that happened. So my whole intention with Slept On has always been to hand out flowers. In fact, that's the whole purpose behind everything that happens on this channel, really. Um, and I do so unselfishly and intentionally. Um, and with this series specifically, there's just over the course of some years, there's just some songs that just got missed, like really good stuff that just kind of got, well, slept on. And so, in my own small way, I wanted to try to bring some attention to those songs. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that I would actually get the attention of the artist while I was doing it, but I did. So check it out, right? So I was in my Betty Bye. It was like 3 in the morning, and I see this message pop up on my phone because my YouTube account is connected to my phone, and it was from somebody that goes, "Yo, that's my pops," and I went, and it was on the for example video for I'd Rather Be Alone and From the Fool, and I went, no, it can't be. And then I took a look at the guy, and he looked like his dad. Like, he looks a lot like his dad. And then maybe a few minutes after that, I think it was a few minutes. I was pretty tired by this point. It's 3 in the morning, for crying out loud, on this end. Um, it, Dre Allen responded. Like, Dre Allen from the group, for example, responded, and responded in long form. So, and we've kind of gone back and forth a couple times, um, but he said all kinds of nice things about the video, and kind of filled in some of the missing pieces, because it was, as I mentioned during the course of the video, it was really hard to dig up information on, for example, just because there isn't much. So he filled in some information, and he still speaks to the guys in the group. He doesn't sing professionally anymore, but he still keeps in touch with the guys in the group for the most part. And so it's really interesting. I don't want to spoil it, so go to the video if you haven't seen it yet. For example, I'd Rather Be Alone and From the Fool. Go check out that video, and you can see his responses, as well as his kid going, "That's my pops." It's the coolest thing. You've got to go check this out. This has been, I mean, this has made my week. I never imagined that, a member of the group or that the artist would actually see this stuff. I mean, YouTube is really a small world. And I guess I just didn't realize how small. I figured I was, kind of, just operating in my own little small way. And while I'm absolutely trying to grow the audience here on YouTube, I guess I just never envisioned that a member of the group could actually see the video, and lo and behold, he did. And he watched the whole thing clearly. Um, so what a weird beginning to a week this has been already. But I just had to tell you that because I think it's really, really cool. And I mean, this isn't just about me. This is about all of us. I mean, if you guys weren't watching the videos, I wouldn't keep making them. I mean, if there's no audience, why bother, right? But somehow I have an audience. I'm still trying to figure out how that's happening, but somehow I have an audience, and I couldn't be more grateful for it. And it's because of that audience that video ever even got made. So I thank all of you really for watching these videos, because ultimately that's how this happened. So how cool. I just had to tell you that. But that is not the point of our video here today. So I guess I'm just in a mood to make things difficult for myself, because if you thought there was little information on, for example, ooh, doggy, have I got more for you. So we're going to cover another group on the same record label, and I have less information on them. So I have a little bit of a cheat sheet here, It's my iPad. Um, but I'm not going to get very far here. Props, by the way, to Rare and Obscure Music, which is a WordPress blog. This is where I managed to find a tiny bit of information on this group. There just isn't much. So, okay, so I won't read it directly, but I'll paraphrase the stuff that's here. So I'll put a link in the description to the blog so you can read whatever little is here. There just isn't much because they couldn't find much either. It's kind of a mystery, but um, once we get to the song, you'll understand why I did this. Um, but but yeah, so we're going to talk about the group Front Page. Who on earth a kid is Front Page? Well, hold on, for I will tell you. Front Page existed in the early 90s, and I remember them actually back then. I remember that they did I want to say it was a telethon that showed up. I'm from DC. That showed up on Channel 9. Um, and I want to say it was like during the day on a Saturday, and I just happened to catch them. Um, and I caught their name, and I seem to recall that they did this song. I think they did the song we're about to cover. I think. Um, but they might have done, it's possible that they did Come to Papa, although I don't think they did. That was the single that was out at the time, but I don't think they did that. I think they did this song. Anyway, I digress, but only slightly. So the group was made up of Gregory Ringo, who is like the high tenor falsetto that you'll hear, Michael Turner, um, who has that that big kind of gutsy baritonish kind of voice, and Octar Anderson Jr. Um, and they're just like, I kind of just have their names, but I can go a little further, though not much. So the first single that came out was "Come to Papa," and it didn't really do anything. There is a video for it. You can find the video on YouTube. It's not in good quality. It's really not. Um, but unfortunately, it didn't do anything. And then they released a song called "Something You Can Appreciate," which is actually pretty good. Like, the songs themselves are decent, and the singing on them is good, like really good. But unfortunately, neither of those songs did anything. And it was just, there was, I don't know what the rest of the story is, like if there's more to this story other than the simple fact that this was, I think this was what, 1994, I believe, when the record came out. Let me verify. Yeah, 1994. That's what I thought it was. Um, when their self-titled album came out on MCA, and I mean, if you were around during that time, as I talked about in the For Example video, there were just so many R&B vocal groups. There were so many. I mean, these were the days of salad, for groups like Jodeci and Boys to Men and Shy, and Portrait to some extent, who Dre Allen actually knows. He knows Michelangelo Salisbury, which is kind of cool. He mentions it in the comments. I know. I'll stop spoiling the comments. Go read them. Um, but and there was Low Key, and I mean there were so many. We'd be here all night. But just because of the fact that there were so many, there were a lot more that just kind of, they were just kind of forgotten. They just got missed. I mean, we couldn't, as a radio listening audience, we couldn't pay attention to all of them. We just couldn't. And this was one that got missed. The only thing I can remember is that telethon where I saw them, and I thought they sounded amazing. They sounded great. And they have a guy that sings with them, is not in the group, named Jay Turner, who's not really part of the group. I'm assuming this is Michael's brother. But he sings with the group a lot as well, and provides kind of like a fourth part on a lot of the harmonies, and it sounds fantastic. So anyway, what I wanted to do is I wanted to share with you the song that I'm 90% certain, 99% certain, in fact, I'll go further, but 99% certain that I heard them do on that telethon. And it actually made me go buy the album. And it's a cover of a very well-known stylistic song that we all know, by Tom Bell and Linda Creed, called "You Make Me Feel Brand New." It's an amazing, amazing, amazing song. And so you're about to hear what makes it so amazing. So here we go. This is called You Make Me Feel Brand New by Front Page. Let's listen to it. We'll talk a little bit about what makes it so amazing when it's over. In 3, 2, 1. Sync. Gotta do it. That's Oscar Brashear, by the way. I may forget to tell you. I love all that movement of the bass. Love a good harmony beat. Yeah, I know, but it works. Doesn't it? I think it does.
Whenever I was insecure, you built me up and made me sure. For you gave my pride back to me. Oh, yes, you did.
Say it.
Precious friend, with you I'll always have a friend.
Play it.
You're someone who I can depend to walk a path that sometimes bends. Girl, you know.
Come on, Ringo. I mean, not bad, right? Like, really not bad. Okay, so let's go over some of the technical things here. So, Andre Fisher produced it. Andre Fisher did a lot of producing. In fact, he was married to Natalie Cole, and did a lot of stuff with her, uh, in the second phase of her career. Did a lot of Unforgettable with Love. So, very classy producer. Um, and of course, as I mentioned during the video, see, I thought I would forget, and I didn't forget. Um, that's why I had to run my mouth during the video, which I know some of you don't like, and I'm sorry. Okay, but the but the trumpet, that the Harman muted trumpet, was played by Oscar Brashear. No slouch, right? Nice, very nice tone, great feel. Such a great player, Oscar is. Um, and I absolutely love the movement in the bass. I mean, we don't get a tremendous amount of that anymore, and I love the fact that it's almost jazz, which you wouldn't expect from a group like this, and there's nothing else like it on the record. I mean, I remember getting the album and listening to it, and I didn't dislike it or anything. I promise it wasn't that at all. Um, but there is nothing else like this song on the record. Like, Let's Get Comfortable is kind of cool. Um, I did like Come to Papa. I thought that was fun. Um, the melody, the chord changes are interesting in it too. So it's worth checking out if you haven't heard it. You can find it on YouTube for sure. Um, and if you go to, I don't think it's a streamable. Let me check here. I don't think it is though. I'm going to look on my computer here, and I will tell you. Let's see here. I really don't think it is though. Let's see. For example, wasn't either. I'm not expecting to find this, but I'm taking a look here to see if I can. No, no, it's not. Uh, do you? I just want to make absolutely certain before I say it's not here. No, it's not. No. Okay, so that album is just like, for example, it's not on the streamers, so you can't find it. But if you go to eBay, or don't go there, if you go to Discogs, that's a better place to go. I love Discogs. If you go to Discogs, you can find it there for sure, and for not very much money, and it's worth it. I mean, I think it's worth it. It's a good enough record, even though it is very different. There's a lot of Sep and Tricky on it, and you can't go wrong there either. I promise you. So there's good stuff on the record, but for me, I think this is probably the best thing on the album. It's just that good, I mean, would you expect jazz from a group like this? And I mean, this isn't jazz really, but it is very jazzy. It's got some very interesting chord changes kind of coming out of the chorus, that release in the chorus, until you get into the second verse, and then the one that gets you into that little bit of a boom 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 bridge, that are not typical, and the chords are very nicely revoiced in the chorus too. They're not the way that Tom wrote them. So I think it's actually kind of cool. And the vocals, I mean, forget it. You saw me reacting. I mean, Ringo can sing his face off, and I believe that was Michael Turner that we were listening to that was kind of doing the lower vocals. And I wish there was more information, or I wish there was a video so I could really see for sure. But I could see him singing and Come to Papa, and it sounds like that sounds to be him. That seems to be him. And just an excellent voice, absolutely excellent voice. And I typically love to hear a good falsetto anyway. And Ringo has that, and you can hear his natural tone too in Come to Papa, and he's got that going too. So he's just an excellent singer, and Michael Turner really is too. Absolutely love the tone of his voice, and the way he attacks things. And there's a bit of riffing here and there from both of them, but it's not a problem. Like, I don't think it's too much. I think it sounds perfectly fine for the song. They're into it. I believe them, and the track sounds amazing. Of course, Andre Fisher's a beast. So It sounds great, but the song itself was it 5 minutes and 56 seconds long. Um, it would have been tough to edit. Um, Although you could edit off, some of the trumpet solo for sure. I don't know. I'd have to listen to it again with an editor's ears and see what I would take off of it, but it might not be the easiest thing in the world to do. Um, but anyway, like I said, unfortunately, they put the record out, and they did appear on the telethon that I saw, and it didn't seem to mean too much. They didn't have an impact, and they kind of disappeared. Octave Anderson is still involved in the business. Um, he had been on Twitter for a bit, and I was actually following him, but I think he left Twitter, so unfortunately I can't keep up with him anymore, which is a bit of a shame. But he was kind of doing like kind of shepherding the next crop of singers. Um, so I'm assuming he's still doing that, but I don't know. As for Michael or Ringo, I have no earthly idea where either of them are. I couldn't find any information, and I did look, and I just couldn't come up with anything. So they're a bit of a mystery. So YouTube's a small world, maybe somebody will appear. If you know anything, tell me. I'm genuinely curious, because as you've seen, I'm all about handing out the flowers. And if you know something about it, or something about them or the group itself, let me know. I just wasn't able to really come up with much of anything. But man, if they didn't leave behind an amazing song, if nothing else. And some other really good songs too. Like, the record's not bad. If you're into kind of mid '90s contemporary R&B vocal group stuff, they did a good record. It's a solid record. So I would very much encourage grabbing it. If you can find it. I'm sure you could get it on Discogs. Like I said, it probably isn't that expensive. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. What a strange day this has been. So I'm still in the middle. Thank you, Dre Allen. But I'm still in the middle of editing the Whitney video cast, where we talked for many hours. Ed Bowser, Dre, and myself, the other Dre. And he will forever be known as the other Dre now. But I'm in the middle of that. I just finished editing Waiting to Exhale, which you will not get until Sunday, because I'm trying to give it like a few days, between each one. But I'm very much on the case, and I just kind of got in the mood to do this because it's been a minute since I've done a Slept On, and darn it, I wanted to do one, so here we are. But again, thank you very much for watching these videos. These odd little things don't happen if you don't watch these videos, so thank you. It just makes me more indebted to all of you. Again, if you know anything, or if you just want to comment on the song itself and tell me how amazing it is, because you will, right? Leave a comment down there. You know where they go. I respond to every comment, no matter what it is. So thank you very, very much for viewing. Hit the thumbs up because you liked the video. I already know that you did. You wouldn't hit the thumbs down video. You wouldn't do that to little old me, would you? But hit the thumbs up video and subscribe to the channel. I mean, this channel is on and popping. Like, there's always stuff coming. So don't miss. And hit the bell too, so you don't miss anything that comes out. Because I'm dropping at odd intervals lately because of these Whitney Houston videos. So if you want to make sure you don't miss anything, hit the bell. You know the one. And then, of course, follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm in all of the places doing all of the things. So there's a Linktree link in the description, and if you hit it, you will see everything, all of the places and all of the places I am and all the things that I do. But again, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I can't say it enough. And until we see each other on the next one, keep listening to great music.